TCI is brought to you by TaylorMade Stallion Unbridled Song, producing top songs year after year, including 13 Grade 1 winners. Visit unbridledsong.com.
Welcome back to TCI, your inside track to the Triple Crown. I'm John Siegel alongside Joel Cunningham. Joel, a huge weekend of racing on tap. We have the Tampa Bay Derby and also the San Felipe.
Well, you just mentioned, John, big weekend. And what I like about both of these fields from coast to coast is the depth of quality in the field, John. I really think we're going to discover some new talent on the Derby trail, maybe some names that aren't household names at the moment. I really expect some breakthrough performances. You look at how things have gone so far this year, and we've seen the heavy favorites come back successfully. You know, horses like Union Rags coming back, winning in a mile and 16th over a questionable field. Same with Hansen, and even El Padrino, you know, winning the Risen Star last time out. But I look at these races, and I see depth of quality from top to bottom in both fields, and I really think we'll see some emergence of some new stars.
All right, let's bring on our expert handicapper from Brisnet.com. It's Ed DeRosa. Ed, thank you so much for coming on the show. How you doing?
Doing great. Another big weekend of racing as we march closer to the Derby.
Absolutely, Ed. Let's start with the Tampa Bay Derby. Interesting race. I think you get a pretty good mix of horses in here, 12 signed on. When I look at the speed, I think it starts with two horses with a lot of quality and tactical speed. I know you like Take Charge Indy quite a bit, but also Spring Hill Farm.
Yeah, I think, as you said, there is a lot of speed. I'm not sure it's necessarily all blistering speed. I'd be shocked if Spring Hill Farm didn't make his presence known early. So it's conceivable that if Take Charge Indy were to get in some trouble laying behind horses, Spring Hill Farm could end up running away with this one. But for me, I think Take Charge Indy gets a good stalking trip from the outside post, and I really expect him to have the race under his control by the time they turn for home.
Hey, Ed, what do you make of the Sam Davis winner, Battle Hardened, in here?
Yeah, I'm hoping that win on the track attracts way more money than it should. It just wasn't a fast race. I just don't see him making up the 4 or 5 lengths needed that he'll even be able to contend, let alone win this race.
All right, sounds like Take Charge Indy is your pick then. Is that who the winner is?
He's my pick, yeah. I found this race, famous last words, but a lot easier to handicap than the San Felipe. I just think Take Charge Indy is clearly the fastest, and I love those types of opportunities.
Well, I think you're right. Take Charge Indy, I think, is a horse that can stalk and pounce in here. Let's talk about that San Felipe a little bit, Ed. You know, I think this race probably starts in most people's mind with your favorite, Creative Cause. I thought he was a little disappointing 3 weeks ago in his comeback. What did you make of that performance, and what do you think of the horse?
I wasn't quite as down on the comeback as I saw some other people. I'm inclined to give Creative Cause another try. You know, the odds board's what I'm more worried about, but he's certainly a factor in this race for me.
Well, Bodemeister is a horse for me that is extremely intriguing. What do you make of Bodemeister, and what did the Brisnet Ultimate PPs reveal on the horse in his maiden win?
Well, he got the triple-digit Brit speed rating, which certainly typically is sort of the Mendoza line this year especially. This looks like a really good group, and that Bodemeister already fits in that group off a maiden win, to me, is a big feather in his cap. I do have a little bit of concern that he wasn't pointed for this race until FedBiz came out. I'm not sure that Baffert trained him on March 4th with this race in mind. And his 78 early pace figure in that maiden race, he's going to have to go a lot faster this time. So I'm thinking he might be an underlay, even though he is a fast horse.
All right, Ed, with so many exciting horses in this race, tell me, who's your pick in the San Felipe?
I'm actually going to go with Empire Way. I think he's going to be the one most running late and mow them all down. I love the work pattern that Mike Harrington has with him. I love that he's getting better every race. And as we've seen with his full sister, Royal Delta, she certainly needed time to season. And I think Empire Way is just starting to blossom, and I'm expecting a big run this weekend.
All right, Ed, thank you so much for coming on TCI. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to hearing from you next week.
My pleasure. Enjoy the races, guys. It's going to be a great weekend.
All right, Joel, so in the Tampa Bay Derby, he goes with Take Charge Indy and throws Battle Hardened out.
You know, that's very interesting because that Tampa track is very quirky, John. So if you're going to throw a horse like Battle Hardened out, that's an established graded stakes horse, You know, I personally think the horse has a big shot in here. The one problem with Battle Hardened is, you know, he's going to get that pace to run at up front. I'm not really concerned about that. What I am concerned about is how fast he is. A lot of people question the quality Ed just talked about of the Sam Davis. So he's going to really have to take a step forward, in my opinion, show that he is of this quality, because at this point, he is still just a maiden winner and he has not run fast.
All right, and another horse that's going to have to step up and show quality is Spring Hill Farm. He's just an allowance winner, but he's been very talented.
Yeah, Spring Hill Farm's another horse, John. You know, Ed talked about will be your pace setter in here. I mean, going around one turn, this horse has always showed great speed. Now going around two turns, you figure they're not going to change his style at this point. My question with Spring Hill Farm is, you look at his pedigree, he should handle two turns, but how is he going to handle the pace pressure? You know, I look at the horse in the 12 hole coming in from Louisiana, a lot of speed. You know, another horse like Tell All You Know stretching out. I think he's going to press him early. So I see an honest pace in here. So the question for me will be, how will he handle that pressure and how will he handle that Tampa surface he's never run over?
All right, so Take Charge Indy's on our top 10. Is he your pick in here?
Take Charge Indy would be my pick. I agree with Ed. I think he's going to get a great stalking trip. I think Calvin Burrell, breaking from the outside, won't have to negotiate through much traffic and be able to put the horse wherever he needs to settle him and have success second off the layoff and into his 3-year-old form cycle. And he's shown he can come from off the pace, but he has that tactical speed to be where he needs to. I think he's the quality of the race, and I expect him to win.
All right, let's go now to the San Felipe, Joel. I got two horses in here, Creative Cause and Liaison. They're both accomplished horses who need to prove a point.
No, absolutely. Liaison ran terrible last time out, John. Let's be honest about it, but he's a Grade 1 winner. Bob Bamford's expecting a big race. He needs to bounce back in here. They're making a blinkers change on the horse. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes back. And you mentioned Creative Cause. This is where the race starts. He's going to be your favorite off that brilliant 2-year-old form. He's another Grade 1 winner, but I thought 3 weeks ago his comeback race was disappointing as well. So coming back now in a quick turnaround in 3 weeks, is he going to move forward off of that? Or is he going to, you know, put in another dull performance? Because I think he's going to get challenged from top to bottom. I really like this San Felipe field.
All right, Joel, you like his pick when Ed went with Empire Way?
You know, Empire Way is an interesting horse. He mentioned, you know, the sibling Royal Delta, a great champion last year, but Royal Delta wanted to run all day. So I think Empire Way, when you look at his style, he's a deep closer in here like Rousing Sermon. They're going to be running late. Blingo's another one, but I think he's going to want more than a mile and a 16th. That Santa Anita track has been catering speed, I think, a little more. So maybe watch for him in the mile and 1/8 Santa Anita Derby next time out. In this race, I want a horse that's going to have a little more tactical speed at a mile and a 16th. I think the horses that get first run, a horse like Creative Cause, you know, another horse like Groovin' Solo, it's going to be your longest price on the board, blinkers off. I think Groovin' Solo has a big shot. His half-brother, Premier Pegasus, won this race last year, and that just shows you how much depth of quality is in this field from top to bottom. All 10 3-year-olds, in my opinion, have a shot to emerge in this race.
All right, it's an exciting time of year. We got great racing on the East Coast and West Coast. Thank you so much, Joel. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you come back on Monday. We'll recap all these races.